And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. We see this in Luke chapter 2 and verse 1. Because of this taxing, it put Jesus our Lord in the city of Bethlehem to be born as prophesied. And this taxing required a special coin to be issued, which Octavian, who became Caesar Augustus, he took the title Augustus. He was the adopted son of Julius Caesar. And he created a coin for this taxing tribute money, called a denarius. And it had his image on it, which had not been done. It was sort of a no-no to the Senate, but he did it anyway. He put his image on the coin. And on there, he put the title Augustus, which means majestic one. And he also put DVF, which is an abbreviation for Divi Filius, which means son of a god. When they were conducting some games, when Octavian became emperor, to prevent any type of another civil war like they had had before Octavian became Caesar Augustus, they saw Halley's Comet at the games. And the Senate said this was Julius Caesar's spirit. And he had become a god, so therefore it made Octavian a god. And so he took that title for stability, for the people to think that he was appointed by Julius Caesar for that. And he reigned up until August 19th, 14 AD. And then we see in Luke chapter 3, beginning in verse 1, now in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, Pontius Pilate being governor of Judea, and Herod the tetrarch of Galilee. So if we take a moment here and look, Tiberius Caesar becomes Caesar in September 18th in 14 AD, a month after Octavian dies. So this would be in 29 AD that Luke is describing. And so Tiberius issues another tribute coin with his image on it. And we want to look a moment here, and in Matthew chapter 22, we have the Jews coming to Jesus, and of course, they did not like to pay taxes to Rome. Beginning in verse 17, they ask, "Tell us therefore, what do you think? Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not?" But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, "Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money." And they brought him a penny, or a denarius, a day's wages in that day. And he said unto them, "Whose image and superscription?" And they said, "Caesar's." So we want to stop here a moment and look at this coin. And we're going to be looking here. This is the actual size of the coin, but for demonstration purposes, we have an enlarged copy of that coin, and it was silver. And as we look at this, there's a lot said on this coin that if you put this into perspective, a lot can be learned. First of all, we see that Tiberius has his image on there with the laurel leaf, which means being victorious, the victor. Here he has his name, the abbreviation, and on their coins they abbreviate it a lot. So you have T.I. Caesar, D.I.V.I. Tiberius Caesar, divine, and then the abbreviation for Augustus, divine Augustus, and then you have the F for son, that's abbreviation. So it says Tiberius Caesar, divine Augustus, son of Augustus. Tiberius was actually the adopted son of Octavian. And as you look at that coin, then if we look at the reverse side of this coin, it's also very interesting. On the back side, you have seated there his mother, Livia, and she's seated on a very ornate chair, and it is in resemblance to the goddess of peace, Pax, P-A-X, and holding there a olive branch. And then we see the words Pontiff Maximus. In Latin, that means high priest. And so you would wonder why he would have that title. When Octavian became emperor, he built his palace, and where the palace that where he built his home, there was a temple to Vestas, the goddess. And he destroyed that temple and built a new one in his courtyard, but it displaced the high priest of that temple. So when he was asked, where will he stay? Octavian said, I will be high priest. Tiberius keeps that title, and Pontiff Maximus. Now, if you look at any coins minted by the Vatican, by the popes, they all have this information, Pontiff Maximus, on the backsides of their coins. So as we look here at the tribute money once again, on the front side he's claiming the title Augustus, majestic or to be worshipped. He's claiming to be the son of a god. He has a laurel wreath symbolizing the victor. On the backside, he has his mother seated as the goddess Pax, and he has the title High Priest. Now, this is Jesus asking for the coin, and he says, whose image and superscription is on it? Look at the humility of our Lord, because Jesus was the true and only Son of the only God. Jesus would become the everlasting high priest after his resurrection. Jesus came into the world to bring peace between God and mankind, and he did that through his death, shedding of his blood, and his resurrection on those who believe. Jesus would be exalted, Augustus, or majestic, worship, and Jesus is to be worshiped. And we see in the book of Revelation, in chapter 5, the Lamb before the throne and the elders falling down before the Lamb who was worthy. Jesus would achieve the ultimate victory, which is over death. So these things are very interesting when you go and you look at the detail, and everything that's on that coin, Jesus would become that, but Jesus then just states, render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things which are God's. Thank you.